Hi, I'm Ossie from Three Monkey Solderless, home of the world's best cables for your pedal board. So go check us out at threemonkeysolderless.com. You won't be disappointed. So the Vic amp is done. All right, here it is. And there was a couple of Easter eggs in some of those early videos of playing it. It's been up and running for a little while, but I, have to get all the build videos out of the way before I can, just move right to the build, or rather to the demo. So I figured we put a few Easter eggs in there to keep people interested in it, or what have you. I don't know if it worked, but anyway, so here it is. So it's a 100 watt, sort of like Marshall style head as we saw before. And I guess I could give you like a quick rundown of the controls and the inputs and things like that. So basically we have three inputs, right? So it's considered like a Jose three-way, a Jose three-way, right? That sounds pretty good. Three-way input. So that means that you have three different levels of gain to access through the front panel, right? And they correspond to different controls on the front. So let's go through the controls. We have what's called the Jose Master, which is a push-pull master. For the most part, if you're out gigging with this thing, I just leave it pushed, right? You pull it out if you want to kind of have like a bedroom session, right? Because it's made to kind of mess with the tone stack a little bit at the same time as you lower the volume to make the amp sound a little beefier at lower volume. So that was sort of like Jose's solution to the thinned out sort of pre-phase inverter master volume that was, pretty much in use the whole time. The next, we have our standard Marshall bass, middle, and treble controls, right? Not much different there. Standard Plexi stuff that you'd find in any of the amps from, the 60s on through the 70s. And then we have our, what's called on the front, a volume 1 and a volume 2. And these are very much like stock Marshall volume controls in a sense, right? So one would be like the bright channel and the other one would be the normal channel. The bright channel having the 4700 puff bright cap on it, right? Like a 70s or late 60s Marshall would have to give it some grit and grind. Depending upon where you have that set, it gets a little brighter and gnarlier around like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Sounds pretty cool. And then we have a switch right next to it, which is the jump channel switch, right? Which will allow you to jump the channels together. We'll get into that a little bit more as a demonstration, but it allows you to jump these two channels together. And then we have our gain control, which sets the level of the preamp gain, right? The extra tube stage that's added in. That corresponds to overdriving this channel here. It does not affect this one, only this one. So in a sense, these two are parallel, and then this one has overdrives this channel, right? Now, three ways, right? So those were two sounds, right? Either the overdriven channel or the sort of like normal Marshall normal channel, right? The third input is just bypassing this gain stage and going just to stock Plexi input, right? So those are the three different sounds that you can get from the Jose amp. So, yeah, let's, I guess we could go through and just listen to it and turn a couple of knobs and see what happens, right? I guess we've talked enough. So now we're in through the gain input, right? Which is the lower left input, which will allow the gain knob to work and the volume 1 knob. So let's listen to that. Wrong band, I think, but Sammy has, it's sort of like Sammy Schoen, Neil Schoen, and Sam, I don't know. And it's all kind of together. So, the signal chain, aux box, right? So I'm running from the amp to the aux box with greenbacks, right? A greenback setting. And then I have on top of the aux box, don't tell anybody, I'm cheating. I got this Eventide, right? The pitch factor, because obviously if we're going to be using this in like a Sammy band, the pitch factor, the harmonizer can be part of that sound. Now, I'm not saying that it has to be, but it can be. So I have it on right now with a little bit of a slapback stereo, 420 milliseconds on one side and 220 on the other. So they kind of fill out the sound a little more. And then I'm detuning one channel down 3 cents and the other channel up 3 cents, right? For a total of 6 cents. So that's 1 more cent than a nickel. So yeah, that's sort of what we're getting, right? So if I turn off the harmonizer, if you wanted to hear that, right? Okay, so that's sort of like our gained up sound, right? I've got a volume pedal on the floor, so this actually will clean up, right? So we could get like full tilt, and I could back it off. Right, so you got that kind of a sound. It'll clean up really nicely. Yeah, let's see what else we can do. Oh, let's go through the other channels, right? So we're gonna have let's listen to the standard Plexi channel, right? So now we're gonna go into the upper left input, right? Which now we've defeated this sort of gain stage, and we sort of have like kind of like a stockish Plexi sound with the Jose Master still in there. Now the presence is on the back of the amp. I should have said that, but it's on the back of the amp. All right, so this is like the stock sort of like Plexi channel. Up. So we get some good, you know, right? If you take off the harmonizer. You can get some kind of AC/DC-ish kind of stuff out of it, right? Cool. So now we could go into, let's say, the normal channel, normal sort of Marshall Plexi channel, which is sort of like a really fat kind of a sound, right? As we all know, it has that 330 microfarad bypass capacitor on the first cathode, which really fattens things up, right? So, right? You see how bassy that is. Get a little bit. right, so let's say we wanted to do the jump thing. All right, so let's go into this channel. Like, you could be in either one, it doesn't matter. But we're going to go back into this channel. We're going to set up right for that kind of like nasty, kind of mid-rangey, kind of barky thing. Right, and then we're going to hit the jump. And we can bring in this. See how it fattens it out? So we're going to turn the jump out. Hear that? All right, so that may even be more like Angus and Malcolm kind of like put together. Angus on the bright side when Mal was playing with, now Stevie, kind of like fills out the bottom end with that big fat Gretsch with the big huge strings on it. It's crazy. All right, so we got the jump channel thing going. Now, if you were to go into the lead channel, you could still have a jump thing, right? So this is sort of like the high gain again. We're in the high gain input. We're going to not jump it, right? We can add a little jump. Nice little thing. Playing this wrong. Sorry about that. The clams have arrived on time. All right. Yeah, so let's see what else we could sort of describe. If you can sort of, let's see if we turn this volume all the way up and still have it jumped, right? Now we get a really thick sound. just in case, I mean, that's a Sammy era song, right? One of the ones maybe they'll play, who knows? I kind of like it in the jump setting. I think for that sort of a sound where, you know, you get that kind of really fat, but it still has that grindy, gritty thing from that .047, right? So that thing sounds pretty cool. Yeah, so I think that's pretty good for now to check out like sort of how the Jose all works. If you have any questions about the amp, like how things function, or you wanted to, I don't know, hear it in a different way, I'll probably have this for, actually, you know what? Never mind. By the time you see this amp's going to be gone. So anyway, I wanted to thank Vic for allowing me the privilege of building him an amplifier. It's very exciting and very much a pleasure. So thank you, Vic. I appreciate that. And to the rest of everybody, I hope you have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed a little something and didn't mind too many of the clams. So I'll see you later.